Well, hello there and welcome back to another great lesson in your programming course. My name is Vlad, and before we move on, let's quickly remind of what we've learned so far. So by this point you should be well familiar with different types of numbers, for example integers and floating point numbers. We also talked about how to print or display something to the screen, starting with the famous Hello World example. We then talked about variables, and at this point you should know what variables really mean, how to create them, how they can be used, and so on. And lastly, we also discussed how we can read an input from the user. So up until now, we've seen that all the code we've written, the assignments we've done, getting inputs from the user, printing output to the screen, all of these lines of code, all of our commands were executed one after the other in some sort of successive manner, right? And in programming, just like in real life, you would like to have some control over your actions. You know that if it's raining outside, then you should definitely take your umbrella with you, but otherwise you don't need to take the umbrella, right? So basically the same can be said for your code. Suppose you've developed a game, and wouldn't it be nice and reasonable for you to add some functionality that if you press one of the arrows, your unit will move to that particular direction which you just specified, simply giving you some control over what happens when a user presses some button, some key on your keyboard. And basically so far you didn't have any control over your program. You simply executed one command after the other. And that's something very important for us as the future developers, to know how to control things in our program as well as, to control things in our life. And so to teach you this topic in the most elegant way, let's take a look at a couple of quick and easy examples that will explain to you guys the logic behind it, as well as demonstrate when and why we would like to use conditions. So grab yourself something nice to drink, and here we go.